So we just entered into the city of East Point, Michigan, here in Macomb County. And we are heading south on Gratiot right now. And Macomb County, what does that say? Clover Leaf Pizza. There's a million places I want to try. I drive by restaurants and little bars and stuff, and I just want to try some. So we're near Roseville, which is a pretty nice city. East Point, the city of East Point, it's a decent city as well. I think this is 9 Mile right up here, and then it'll be 8 Mile. Then we'll be in the city of Detroit, the east side of Detroit. We're on the east county of Wayne, so the northeast county of Wayne. So Macomb County is part of the Tri-County area of Metro Detroit. So yeah, Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne County in the Tri-County area. So let me see here. What does it say? City of East Point. This is 9 Mile Road. This looks like the civic area. I don't know if there is a downtown. And that little sign there, it doesn't say that there's a downtown. So I'm not sure if there is a downtown. It might just be a civic area. I did want to highlight the city of East Point if it was possible, but if there's no downtown and no signature areas, then maybe we'll do that a different day. But today I kind of wanted to highlight Gratiot because it's going to come up quick. The city of Detroit is going to come up here quick. So right just past 8 Mile, the dividing point up here is 8 Mile. And I did a video of that before. Look at that cow or whatever up there. Let's say winter sausage. It's pretty neat. So like I said before, you have the rich north suburbs to the north of 8 Mile, and then you have the city of Detroit south of 8 Mile, which kind of sums up the road of 8 Mile, the street of 8 Mile. So we are headed into one of the rougher areas in the city of Detroit, I must say. One of the more rundown areas. I did a video I did a couple videos actually of Grosse Pointe, how rough it does get once you get into the city of Detroit. Grosse Pointe's one of the nicest cities in Michigan. You know, a lot of old money, and then you get into the city of Detroit. It's one of the worst areas of Detroit. So we are officially in the city of Detroit now, and we're not. And speaking of that area of Grosse Pointe, we're not far from there. This is a main road. Gratiot's a main road, and so is Jefferson, which is kind of where that was. Grosse Pointe and the city of Detroit, where they meet up. That was on Jefferson. We're on Gratiot right now, which it kind of does run parallel. It's the next main road over. I guess you can term Mac as one, but that doesn't go through all the way through the north suburbs of Macomb County. I do not believe. Gratiot goes all the way downtown. So this is 7 Mile up here, and this isn't. From what I remember, this is not a nice area through here. I'm gonna go down to just. That's State Fair. I'm sorry. I thought it said 7 Mile. So we'll go down 7 Mile here in a second, just kind of see how run down the neighborhoods are. Not that I'm embracing it by any means. Home of the steak by the ounce. That's on capers. You know, and according to my projection and speculation or whatever, I do believe that Gratiot will grow. I don't think it's going to be a rundown mess forever. Just because at the end of this you'll see Eastern Market, and that's kind of an iconic place throughout the city of Detroit. Now there's some good artwork there. So let me get in this lane here. Probably not the best time to come out here, being that it's for almost near rush hour. But what are you gonna do? So we're heading west. Let me see. Yeah, we're heading west right now, and as you can tell, this isn't the nicest area. Still though, still not too bad. There's a bump there. That's something you gotta watch too when you drive through Detroit, or how bad the roads are. $2.85 for gas up here. That's the cheapest I've seen in a while. So we're stopped here now on, was this Schooner and 7 Mile. So what I'll do is I'll probably turn around and then go back down 7 Mile back to Gratiot, and then we can just drive it into downtown, and then I can just go home. Takes the freeways back. I-94 is how you get to this particular area. 696, once you get into the north suburb where I was in East Point in Macomb County, 696 will take you there, and it'll take you east and west through all the way to Oakland County, and then eventually merge into regular I-96. So, like before mentioned, we are not in the nicest area. Let me see. Oof. Houses are run down. And to be honest, a lot of these roads you can, or a lot of these traffic lights, you might as well just blow. Honestly, you might as well just. I mean, there's no cameras, there's no enforcement. I mean, it's not as bad as it used to be, But generally speaking, I mean, this is a rundown area, and I mean, as far as stopping for lights. And I mean, it's really not that essential if there's no cars around. Not advocating breaking the law. You should always stop at a traffic light. But anyways, so McNichols is up here. That's officially 6 Mile. In terms of once you get it a little bit more west, I think out of Oakland, or I'm sorry, once you get out of Wayne County, as you go more west into like Redford and Livonia, Northville. I don't know if McNichols runs into those, but that area of Wayne County, you get into it turns into 6 Mile. It's no longer McNichols, so we'll explore a little bit more of the hood on a different day, but I just wanted to go down to Gratiot, and then we'll call it a video, but I did a video about Eastern Market about, I don't know, a good 3-4 months ago, and they might have been October or November. Asian fisheries. Eventually, I do want to do a full video of Gratiot. Asian corned beef. I heard that was pretty good. I don't know if that's the only location, but Asian corned beef in the city of Detroit and the Metro Detroit area in general is pretty prevalent, pretty well known. So, if you look on a map, Gratiot runs parallel to Jefferson. As the city of Detroit, there's Campus Marshes. Then it kind of goes on a sphere, so to speak, and then it kind of shoots out. You'll have Jefferson, Gratiot, Woodward, well, actually Van Dyke. I'm trying to think about Van Dyke. I think that runs more perpendicular to. I think it intersects this. I could be wrong. Then you have Livernois, and that's the west side. Well, actually, you have Michigan that runs west, and then you have Livernois. Yeah, I don't know. If you look at a map, you'll know what I'm talking about. But we haven't really visited the west side, other than going to Rouge Park, which was about 9 months ago or so. So I go down one of these roads here, or one of these streets, and just kind of take a look at some of the neighborhoods here in Detroit. It's not the most inspiring scene, but, and this is the story for many of the areas off of Gratiot and the east side, and unfortunately it's the story of many areas of the west side as well. You know, whether you're going down Livernois, Gratiot, Michigan, 90, you know, and anywhere off of Southfield Freeway, you're going to run into problems. And some areas are very nice of Detroit. You have some neighborhoods that aren't run down and no urban decay, you know, and stuff like that. But some areas are quite rough. So we are on Finley and Guston, or what does it say? Gunston. And while we're not in the nicest area, this isn't horrible. I mean, it's pretty bad, honestly. Some of the houses and even some of the houses where people are living aren't the nicest, but in Detroit standards, I guess it's not the worst. But we are, you know, we're on the east side, like I said. I mean, this is what you can expect. I mean, and this isn't somewhere you want to be walking after hours, and even driving after hours. You run a risk of getting carjacked, and you know, anything can happen. So I'm gonna head back to Gratiot now, and like I said, I'm gonna go drive down to Eastern Market, or Eastern Market area, and that's downtown Detroit. You don't have a problem with crime, but once you get outside that area of Gratiot, or get outside the area of Eastern Market, you run into these types of neighborhoods. You know, they're not the nicest areas. You run the risk of any type of crime happening, essentially. So definitely something to keep in mind. You know, use common sense. You know, don't get involved with, you know, any sketchy situations out here, and you should be fine. But still not a place I'd want to break down in at 3 in the morning, you know. So and much like many areas of the city of Detroit, there are a lot of liquor stores, a lot of fast food, dollar stores. And occasionally you'll see some, you know, nails and phone stores and, you know, beauty type stuff. But you know, you don't see a lot of mom and pop shops, because, you know, they run the risk of getting robbed, and there's not a lot of money in this part of the city. So running a mom and pop shop, you know, whatever that may be, I mean, it's a lot of liability and a lot of risk that's involved with that. So it's been an endless cycle of, you know, between corruption of the city and whatever, you know. But a lot of Coney Islands, though, you know, despite the rundownness and the low standard of living. Coney Islands are still quite prevalent throughout the city of Detroit, no matter what area you're in. So that's something to be said about those Coney Islands for sure. I don't know what's going on up here. Maybe just rush hour. Actually, it might just be a red light. Yeah, I think that's all it is. Now, we're also not far from Hamtramck, and I did a video about Hamtramck recently, or sort of recently, I should say. Oh, there's an ambulance going by. Fort Street, that's another well-known street in the city of Detroit that goes into the south suburbs. Verner, Michigan Avenue, Woodward. If you really look at the little spindle of roads, you'll see, all the different roads I just mentioned. So, it goes Jefferson, Fort, Verner, Michigan. What else? It might be Woodward. I might be one in between them. I said Livernois. I forgot about Livernois. Better Made potato chip special. I don't know if that's the original one or not. But Better Made potato chips are very iconic and a staple. They're a staple food in the city of Detroit, and I don't know if that's where they're headquartered. It'd be cool if they were. Despite Detroit being run down and whatnot, there's still a lot of good history, even on Gratiot. There's still a lot of cool stuff, old stuff. There's 94 right there, 94 West. So, yeah, Gratiot, you can get off of 94. You get off and get onto Gratiot from 94, I believe. I don't know if that's just an on-ramp or what it is, but but 94 is east until you get down into Allen Park, and then you can head west. So really 94 runs north and south when you get into Detroit. Then once you get into Allen Park, Michigan, and downriver, which is the south suburb, then it runs east and west. So even though technically it does run east and west completely, as on paper, but really nothing to see out here. There's some looks like that's where some abandoned buildings were, and looks like a lot of them were tore down. So here's Van Dyke, and I'd mentioned that road before. So it runs, I think it runs east and west in the city of Detroit, and then it starts back up again. I think it does go to Macomb County. So I think it goes east and west at first, and then it goes north, if I'm not mistaken. Now, if you go extreme east Detroit, like down the river, it's pretty well safe right between Jefferson and the river. So, but between Jefferson and Gratiot, the road we're on now, it's pretty rough. It's not the nicest area. And I believe the next road over, if you head west, is Woodward, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's Warren. Warren goes all the way to near Midtown, near Wayne State, and that's the kind of intersects Woodward, kind of right by the stadiums. So, pretty well-known street in the city of Detroit. Forest as well. Forest goes to Wayne State. Not as prevalent of a road as Warren, but because Warren will go all the way to Dearborn as well. It'll go to the city of Dearborn, and I don't know where it goes from there. I forget. I have to look at a map. but so we're still in quite a shady area, honestly. Even though we are closer to the city, or to the downtown area of Detroit. Gas rate. What the hell are these people thinking? Gas is $4.29 there. I got mine for, well, you just saw it was $2.80 something, or a little bit ago. It was $2.80 something. They want $4 something. That's incredible. That's like $1.50 swing right there. I mean, it's $3.18 there, so they're charging much more than the average price. Maybe they're onto something. Maybe gas is gonna skyrocket in a day or two, and they just they have the first batch of it or something. I hope that's not the case, but this gas has gone up about 20-30 cents in the past week or so. So hopefully that trend isn't as extreme as what they're posting there. But anyways, Fago, I didn't I think that's their main factory. I think that might be their main headquarters. That is what's cool about Gratiot. They have a lot of staple food headquarters within this area, just because well, not because, but Eastern Market is around here, and which has fresh meats and produce. So Fago, that's another, like I said, it's another staple drink in the city of Detroit. It's they have Moon Mist, which is like Mountain Dew. They have a few others. I'm not a huge fan of Fago, I'll be honest, but it is a staple in the city of Detroit. So Detroit, welcome to Detroit 2, Big Sean featuring T Grizzly. So there's some rappers right there. Where's Private Eye, Eminem? That was pretty neat. So that was Mac right there, and that's you can get off of Mac on the freeway. McDougal. These are some more familiar roads in the city of Detroit roads that I'm familiar with. There's a cool little mural or picture there. So it looks like this place is a little bit more built up. I don't feel, you get a sense of that it's starting to, yeah, so there's no bulletproof, there's no bars on those windows right there. They might put the cage around it at night or whatever, like the iron gate or whatever. But or say liquor, but right now, yeah, like, so that was just past Mac. So you kind of get a sense that we're not in the rough area anymore. You know, there's stores, there's more prevalent of stores and mom and pop shops and culture. There we go. So Louisiana Creole gumbo, yeah. So this is all Eastern Market. That's why. Okay, that makes more sense. So you can't really tell that it is Eastern Market right on as you're driving on Gratiot. You kind of gotta map it out, type it into Google, because it's not like it just says welcome to Eastern Market on Gratiot. So there's Ford Field over there, so we're officially in downtown. Actually, you could say, okay, so there's Eastern Market right there. So we're on I-75 now. So I could have taken Gratiot down farther into the downtown, but I do want to get home. I do kind of want to get home. There's Ford Field. That's pretty cool. There's the baseball stadium where the Tigers play, Comerica Park. Over there, I don't know if you can see it from here, that's where the Red Wings and Pistons play. Yeah, that's, that white ceiling, white roof. That's where the Pistons and the Red Wings hockey team play. So that's it. That was Gratiot, and I'm gonna head home now, going down 75 South. And if you like this video, then hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.